What is up, people? This is the Oracle. We are back online for an Ixalan draft. I already did one pick. I'm sorry about that. I was actually making some tea, and when I came back, I had like 3 seconds left. The queue fired a little bit earlier than I anticipated, so sorry about that. But basically, the pack was, I think the next best card was a Kite Sail Freebooter, which is slightly annoying because it's a black pirate, and we are gonna be black and pirates most likely, but I mean, you will first pick a hostage taker over pretty much anything in the set anyway, so again, sorry that you missed the first pick, but I don't think it was a big deal. And here I'm just gonna go with Cutlass. I don't mind Heartless Pillage and Direfleet Hoarder, but Cutlass is just very good and also colorless, so it's pretty nice to pick this early in the draft. Alright, I do love Sunburn's Evocation. It's one of my favorite deck to build. Blue-red Sunburn Evocation with Sailor of Memes to, power it up and do some silly things. Now, I'm not sure it's the pick. We could go with Plunderers just because it's, blue-black pirate would go well with Taker and commit a little bit more to blue-black. On the other hand, in the last pack, if you noticed, there was a Fire Cannon Blast, the red 3-mana removal. And here we have Invocation. Well, I guess I like Invocation more than most people, but even if you don't like Invocation, there is Firebrand, which is one of the best 2-drop in the set, and Friendly Fire is solid too. So looks like we might be seeing some red. So, there's an argument to maybe go blue-red and splash for the Taker. It's pretty close. I think I'll just go with Plunderers, but I could see just picking a red card and staying up into blue-red being, a good line too. Alright, I'll pick Sailor of Memes here. Mark is fine, but I don't think it's... I mean, it's fine in blue-black actually, but I think Sailor is just better and let us stay a little bit more open. Especially since we really want to be able to play that, and there's still a chance we end up, not in blue-black, and we want to splash for it. Alright, Depth's looking pretty good. Another card that can enable the splash, and, pretty solid card in general. Not seeing a lot more red in the last couple packs, which is... I guess there's an Unfriendly Fire here, but at least it doesn't feel like we are missing on a bunch of things and that we should or could have been red. I mean, we could have been red for sure. I'm not sure if we should have been red. Looks like we are seeing enough things in blue-black so far. I think I'll pick the Spy over Prosperous Pirate. Those cards are solid, but I like Spy a little bit more. Probably... Oh, there's a Sailor of Memes. Never mind. I was gonna say probably gonna pick Duress for the side, but this is great. Heartless Pillage. Good. Why not? We are quite a bit loaded on 3-drops. We need some 2-drops now, but... Okay, so this was the pack I opened, and someone took the Kite Sail Freebooter, which is not, a surprise. This card should not wheel. We wheel the Headwater Sentries, which I'm gonna pick, probably not play, but... Ooh, the Hoarder wheel, that's a very good news. I think it was among the... I mean, definitely the best cards, among the best cards for us in the second booster. And I think it was among the best cards in general. The pack was not so good, so it's great, just great to wheel that. Alright, we have a very good start for blue-black pirate deck. We just want a bunch of 2-drops now. We have enough 3s. We could do some removal, obviously. A couple more big creatures, but really want to make sure we have enough 2-drops, and a little bit of card advantage would be good, like March of the Drowned, or I don't think we'll be doing Navigator's Rune. Costly Plunder is a decent sideboard option against Paris Interdiction, so maybe. Also in grindy matchups, when you have a deck that can create a decent amount of treasures, it's not the worst. I would not tend to main deck it, but it's certainly certainly not the worst here. What was I saying? Yeah, we need mostly a bunch of 2-drops, and yeah, March of the Drowned and Siren's Ruse do play pretty well with Hostage Taker, obviously. Alright, Chalice, probably not gonna play that one. Someone took the Invocation. We saw none of the good red cards. We saw pack one Wheel, so there's a decent chance red was just open possibly in the first couple boosters, but there's still like, my guess right now is that there's 2 people playing red at this table, if not 3, so I don't think it's a bad thing we did not go into red. Lightning Strike, great, but we have the banner, which is pretty silly, so that's really nice. Exactly the type of late game card you want in pretty much any deck. But when you have, you know, a bunch of Sealer of Memes and depths, and you can power it up on turn 4, it's even better. Sanctum Seeker, foil search for Askenta. Bloodletter, I guess. Seeker, I mean, this card is pretty good just on its own. You don't need a, you know, a dedicated vampire deck. I've been relatively impressed with Search in Limited, and actually a foil Search might be worth around 6 tickets or so. And I think this is a card that's going to go up in value. I think it's very playable, you know, in Standard, but also Modern, maybe even Legacy, maybe even Vintage, who knows. I'm not very knowledgeable about Vintage and Legacy, but card is definitely nice, and I think it's also a decent choice just to play in the deck. Now, Seeker might just be better, because again, even if you have no Vampire, 3/4 for 4 that drains them for 1 is already quite solid. I think I'll just go with a card that's a little bit more sweet, and that also worth a little bit more money. Not gonna lie to you, I think if money was absolutely not a consideration, maybe I would have just picked the Sanctum Seeker. But Search, I've been pretty impressed with that card in Limited. Even if you don't have a lot of non-creature spells, it's still, you know, you'll still have, you can pick anything, Cutlass, banners, enchantment and whatnot. It's still pretty solid. And the Scry effect is nice too. Alright. Contract Killing here over March. I hope we'll get 1 March at some point, but I think we can get 1 later, hopefully. Whereas Killing is pretty great and much harder to get. I like Cutlass over Knave and Depths here. Would not mind Heartstopper, especially if we end up low on 2 drops, but hopefully we'll get some more Hoarders or Looter or basically any 2 drop, ideally Pirate 2 drop. Okay, there's a Hoarder, that's great. Another Contract Killing, lovely. I don't mind Dive Down, but I think this deck is just going to be playing very well without Dive Down. I like Dive Down when I have 1 with the Wind, mostly. Here it's good, it's pretty good with Hostage Taker, decent when you go for, you know, an aggro with Cutlass, and you can make sure you preserve your pressure, but I think Killing's just better. Okay, I'll pick Mark here over a Heartless Pillage, number 2. I'm not necessarily gonna main deck it, but right now I think I would main deck it. Alright, well, Quartermaster, once you have 2 Cutlasses, is a very good 4-drop, so that's nice. The deck is shipping up pretty nice, and we got a 2-drop that's not the best, but you know, it's a 2-drop nonetheless. Pretty happy to add that to the deck. Yeah, I mean, we are getting great cards. Blue-black is just quite a bit open. We have Removal. The only thing we are lacking now is a couple more 2-drops and a little bit more Removal, maybe. I could use maybe 1 Vanquish the Weak. Though, with Hostage Taker, 2 Contract Killings, a Depths, you know, we have a couple of ways to interact with the board. What's really important right now is getting a bunch of 2-drops, especially Pirates, because we have 2 Cutlasses, and in general, the power level feels really high, so if this, you know, if we don't fall behind on board, should be good. Pretty good spot to win in most cases. Like, the late game is already looking very good. I don't think we need more late game. We can use another 4-drop, whatever it might end up being. Even something like, you know, the, how it's called, Cutthroat, I think. 3/3 for 4 that destroys a creature that took damage. Even something like that would be fine. And then, you know, Or an interloper, I guess. But yeah, again, we really want a bunch of 2-drops. I'm gonna pick Bloodletter here. I think it's just much better than interloper, and I don't care too much about synergies. I think this card is just very good. Okay, we will demarch, which is great. Heartstopper Wheel too. Heartstopper or second depths? I'm not thrilled about the second depths. I'd rather have a run aground, if anything, I think. I do like Heartstopper quite a bit. Spell Pierce nice to the sides. I guess the Cannon's not the worst either. I'm just not a big fan of Cannon. Yeah, we'll almost have a complete deck here. A third Cutlass. Sure. I think it's definitely better than Mark of the Vampire. And then everything else is quite bad for us, at least. I mean, there's some good Merfolk cards, obviously, but that's about it. I'm gonna at this point I'm picking Direfleet Hoarder or Shipwreck Looter, or I guess Wanted Scoundrels if we are lucky enough. Basically any pirate 2-drop over pretty much anything else. Direfleet Ravager, or whatever you should pronounce that. Ravager? 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 I guess it's Ravager. I don't know. I would pick a Direfleet Hoarder over that thing right now. First, I don't think this card is great. Second, we need 2-drop and we have a bunch of 5 already. I mean, it's fine, but it's not. If you are behind, you don't really want to lose a third of your life. It's not very good defensively. I mean, not that great at least. Card is fine, don't get me wrong. I'm gonna pick it and play it, but I would like 100% pick any pirate 2-drop over that at this point. But since there's like pretty much nothing great for us, I'll still pick the Force Cutlass. I mean, 4 might be a little bit too much, especially given the lack of 2-drop pirates. On the other hand, the other options that are not too good. I think Heartstopper is better than Apprentice in a deck like that. Do we want... I kind of want Pirates for the banner though. I think I'll pick Cutlass, but hopefully we get some more... We get some... No, there are all the Cutlasses in the world, but no Pirates. I guess Reaver Sneak is kind of good with a bunch of Cutlasses. It's not ideal though. I don't think we can afford to pick Mark, one with a win or Cutlass. We just have already too many cards that pumps creature without enough creatures. Like we already have like 6 cards that pumps creature or need creatures to be good, and only 12 creatures, so these cards are good, but we just cannot afford to pick them here. Dark Nourishment I don't think we want. We already have too many 5-drops anyway. So it's like Reaver Sneak or Heartstopper, I think. It's crazy that we are getting 5 Cutlasses but no Pirate, kind of. Or not enough. I think I'll pick Heartstopper. You still need to pay 5 to equip a Reaver Sneak, and without any Merfolk the card is quite a bit lackluster. I don't think we'll play Opt in the main here, we already have too many playables. I think I'll pick a Cannon for the side. Or actually no, a Pirate's Prize for a grindy matchup. Can we get some Pirates somehow? Alright, Cutthroat's not the worst. I wanted some 2-drops, but we're not seeing 2-drops. Not the depths. Probably not in the main, but it's good to have inside. Hoarder, finally. Lookout's slightly better, but we really want the 2-drop over the 3-drop here. Another Mark. I don't think I'll play 2 Marks main here. But if we see a deck that cannot interact with that very well, it's good to have another in the side. Don't think I'll play any of this crappy 1-drop. Again, I mean, Cutlass kinda good with Bat, but it's not a Pirate, so you still have to pay 5, and if they have a Revolt, kind of a huge tempo swing. Not a big fan of trying to do that. Let's pick Spell Pierce. It's a little bit clunky because it feels like Pirate, Blue-Black Pirate was wide open, but somehow not enough 2-drops were open or something. I mean, we still have a bunch of cards. I don't think I'll play Mark in the main, actually. I think Pirate Cutlass is just a better card in this deck. And yeah, you'd rather have that. We can get Pillage. Okay, well. We have a good sideboard, which is nice. Search is questionable, I guess. Another March, jeez. I kind of like the Heartstoppers. They are actually pretty good with Cutlass. Death Touch with big enough power becomes very annoying quite quickly. Could see cutting the Surge just because it's not really what we are trying to do. The deck is rather aggressive and already has this amount of good late game options. Maybe we got one Cutlass somehow, because I believe this is a 23 spells deck. 23 spells deck. It's not. We're not gonna play 16 lands here. I mean, one will be stuck with 2 Cutlass on the battlefield or in hand and no creature. It's gonna be a little bit clunky, obviously. Not an easy choice, and I think we want to keep one depth in there. I'm not gonna cut a creature, leaving 4 Cutlasses in the deck. I guess we got 1 Cutlass. Feels weird, but it is what it is, I guess. Okay, we have a lot more black than blue. I think it's a 10-7 mana base though. MTG is gonna say something like, yeah, 12-5. 10-7 feels good though. Very often I just go 9-8, but here we have like way more black, especially early on. I don't think you want to go more than 10-7. It's already pretty much enough towards black, but yeah, we'll do that. Kind of feels weird to have all these good cards in the side. I mean, we'll have very good sideboard options, which is nice. I wish if we had gotten more 2-drops, the deck would be like pretty much perfect, but oh well. Can get everything, I guess. Okay, that's gonna be that. Thanks for watching and see you for round 1.